Hello, greetings. Thank you for joining. My name is Amber Smith, and on behalf of Evolving in Education, I would like to wish you a very warm welcome. So we will briefly go through our agendas today. We have Jamal, our Senior Tech Advisor here, and myself, and the founder of Evolving in Education. Brief overview of the meeting objectives and agendas. We will discuss our focus group updates and announcements. We'll have a brief presentation of discussion topics, reports and progress updates, decision-making and action items, future planning and agenda setting, a brief open forum to give the attendees opportunity to share additional comments or concerns. Then we'll wrap up with a summary of key discussion points and decisions. All right, so we won't do a review of the previous minutes. However, the action item update follow-up, the only action item I believe we had from our last meeting was our New Mexico proposal. I submitted that this morning to the Education Policy Advisor of the New Mexico governor, eagerly awaiting a reply. And our New Mexico proposal is currently a Google Doc that has been collaborated on by our admin team. Focus group updates and announcements. We had our Brain Boost presentation yesterday, a dynamic presentation by Dr. Lee Raz, our PhD neuroscientist, head of our neuroscience department. She did a dynamic presentation, a journey into the child's brain. It was a wonderful presentation. Next Wednesday, we will have our mindfulness, fitness, well-being focus group meeting. The following Wednesday will be our childhood education / curriculum meeting. I'm still looking for people to fill the spots for presentations at these meetings. In the event we can't find someone to do a presentation, we will just have open discussion on incorporating mindfulness, fitness, well-being, etc. into learning. But I'm pretty confident that amongst our group, we'll be able to find people to do brief presentations for all focus group meetings. So presentation or discussion on topics. So it was brought up to me by the mayor of Leeton, Alabama. It's a neighboring small town. He suggested doing short, informational, engaging developmental videos. I will briefly share an example of what I'm talking about. It's a brief video I found on LinkedIn, and this just has developmental little short brief exercises that I just think are really cool. They help both hemispheres of your brain interact. So it's actually a form of mindfulness. So I will play this briefly. Here we go. thought to share.
That was very cool. Very
Isn't
cool.
isn't that neat? I really love that. That's easily implemented. They're fairly difficult when you try it. You'd think
Mhm.
it would be easy, but it's actually quite challenging. And you see where she does it with the child, and it challenges the child, and that just makes connections and neural connections in the brain, allows both hemispheres to operate cohesively. And obviously there already exist plenty of these videos. However, I think Evolving in Education would do well to sort of collect, let's say, be a database and disseminate these videos. Perhaps, redo them in engaging ways, make it, adaptable, implementable into communities and schools. So that's just an idea. Is like, we could do YouTube shorts or TikTok, just make them viral. These brief educational developmental videos. So that's an idea that was proposed to me, and I would love to possibly look into that. Additionally, reports and progress updates. So we have filed our 501c3 status and our 1023 EZ form with the IRS. We're currently waiting on our approval letter, which will be here hopefully in a couple weeks. And as soon as we get that approval letter, we're going to go ahead and get our first grant written, have some more lined up. Yes.
Who sent that out?
Who sent what out?
The document, the 501c3 application. Was that the
Being-
consultant or the?
Yes, being consulted.
Is the consultant also assisting, like oversee the forming of financial documents and stuff?
I don't know that we have any financial documents yet.
Whenever you create a business plan, that's part of it. Were they going to assist with that, or like I don't really understand. We've never talked about the consulting organization and what you intended for them to do.
Initially, the intention was for her just to set up our nonprofit status and, file our EIN and all that, create the bylaws, articles of incorporation. And then once that's complete, I guess I will hire her again. She said she wouldn't have to have all the money up front. She could do half initially to write the first grant. And then once we get our first grant, we could pay her the rest, the other 250. So that's a progress update. And I'd be happy to set up a meeting if she has time between her, you, and myself, so we could discuss further whatever questions you have. Additionally, we had Evolving in Education had a meeting last night with Caboodle Innovations. Caboodle Innovations is a learning accelerator out of India. They recently shifted their focus to the younger years, early development. So they're working on their curriculum now. We're talking about utilizing their platform. Like I said, they have a learning accelerator, and adding in sort of what we need to make it well tailored for New Mexico Public Education Department to address the challenges and needs of New Mexico students and educators. Their program includes teacher training. It bridges the gap between the teaching and learning, in addition to community engagement and student support. So that's very exciting. Our potential partnership with Caboodle Innovations. All right, decision-making and action items. I have a question for you, Jazzy. I'm really happy you're here today. Thank you for joining. Our free website guys, they're busy creating our website. They sent me a status update on what all they've done, and it looks pretty extensive. They've got the back end of our website set up. Now I believe it's time for me to pick, or for us to pick a website template. Now they offer the use of free templates, or they offer the use of purchase templates. I believe the purchased one is $89 a year. What are your thoughts? I heard that the downfall to the free one is if you want to go in and make edits to it, you're usually going to have to hire a web consulting firm to do it. You won't be able to do it yourself. While if you do the paid version, you will be able to access it yourself in addition to receiving support from the site.
Do you recall what we discussed in terms of what free meant? Because they build you a free site, what the conditions of that freeness are? Well, to refresh, what we talked about was everything has a cost to it. So if they offer something free, they provide a bunch of options that cost money, right?
Yeah.
So it all comes back to what it is you're looking for, whether you want just a website with basic information thrown up there like you've asked for, that you could put on any site, whether it's free or a paid site. So what they're building, they're going to offer different costs and options to it. So that's certainly an option that we've gone with. And if you look at the choices, the better looking ones will probably cost money. The better functioning ones will probably cost money. So, you know, it's really up to you in terms of what direction you want to go in. We have, I mean, there's always options. So it's about what you look at and whether you say, okay, well, that will do it for us, or whether it doesn't do it for us. You've given me a list of things that you wanted to see. So it's just a matter of making sure that those things are seeable in their options.
Yes, I definitely want one that's going to look good and one that we will be able to access in the future if we, decide to make any improvements or modifications on it. So I might just go ahead and bite the bullet, I guess, because there's no redoing it if we get the free one now when we have money to buy it. So I guess I'll just go ahead and do that. Now they talk about a lifetime plan or pay by the year. Like
So hold on. I'm sorry, just to make sure you're clear, you just said that there weren't any options. You could sign this thing today and they put it up tomorrow. You could always the next day change it and get something else.
Oh, you can? Like if I go ahead and have them set up this template, we could change it if we needed to?
Yeah, anytime. What I mean is you could always go with someone else. You could always do something somewhere else. We purchase the domain. So wherever we put that domain is up to us. If you say, I don't like what they're doing, they're charging too much, it's so slow, whatever, you just change it and it's now pointing where we want it to point. Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm happy with the service they provide, and I'm excited to see what they come up with. I
Yeah,
guess,
so regardless, whatever happens, you can change it. Don't think
Mhm.
that there aren't any options. They're telling you you may not be able to modify theirs. We don't know what they're offering yet. So if it looks like something you don't care for, you can either ask them again, we need to change this, or you go elsewhere.
Yeah, we didn't sign any contracts. I'll keep that in mind and I'll review the templates that they've sort of put out there. But
Yeah, I'd be happy to review them with you.
I appreciate that. I'll also forward you the status report, see what all plugins and all that they've done if you're interested.
Yeah.
Okay, moving forward with our agenda, future planning and agenda setting. So discussion of upcoming priorities and initiatives. Just Giselle has suggested we as a short-term objective start focusing more on community engagement. See if I can get more specific here. I meant to go over this before the meeting. Be community engagement, just about anybody interested in learning about education she said this session with Lee Raz yesterday sparked the idea. She watches all the videos, the admin videos, when she doesn't attend. She's a rock star. You can offer these little 15 to 20-minute snippets and then have a discussion to follow, or ask people to send in questions in advance. It doesn't directly affect New Mexico, but begins to allow EIE to gain credibility within the community worldwide. So additionally, the mayor of Leeton, he was here last week. He attended a meeting with us. In addition to suggesting the educational short videos, he suggested like us working hand in hand with Leeton, because he's on our board of directors, and working with what they're doing in Leeton with the outdoor classrooms and whatnot, to establish our reputation, our credibility resume, if you would. So that's all very exciting. And I like what Giselle has proposed for community engagement. So perhaps at the next meeting, we can discuss that. We have an admin meeting coming up. We haven't got the time and date nailed down yet. I think Liraz is going to suggest some times and dates to the group. Additionally, with the community engagement and future planning initiatives, the Parents as Teachers initiative, which is in addition to the parental incentive program. I still aspire to work on, hopefully merging these ideas, best practices from these with home visits and workshops, take home materials, pamphlets with easily implemented tips and tricks on leveraging your child's development through brain science. Just to see all the efforts already in place, that's very encouraging to know that there's already those resources, and I would just love for Evolving Education to work together with the existing structure and hope to increase add value to the systems and bring I can't think of the word, something back into the community, bring families closer, nurture the whole child development, engage parents in their child's development more. So that's it for future planning and agenda setting. Now we will open it up. If you have anything you'd like to share, or additional comments or concerns or general discussion on any other relevant topics.
Not at this time.
Okie dokie. So I will summarize the key discussion points and decisions. This is my first time doing this. I always skipped that part, so I wasn't really sure how to do it, but I'll do that now. So we had our focus group updates and announcements. The upcoming focus group meeting is Wednesday. I still haven't set a time and date for that meeting. I want to coordinate with Anka because hopefully she's going to do the presentation on mindfulness. I'd really like to do a morning meeting this time because our friends in the different time zones aren't able to make the later meetings. Additionally, we had our presentation discussion on topics. That was the informational, engaging, developmental short videos. We had our progress reports. We've got our 501c3 status and 1023 EZ form all in. Grant writer, we're working with Caboodle Innovations, decision-making and action items, website template. So I will decide on which one we will use tonight. Check my bank account, see if I can afford to rent whatever it is, buy whatever template necessary, or choose a free one. Future planning, the community engagement, and parents as teachers. So that is all we have today on the agenda. I sure thanks for your time, Jamal.
Setting the time. Did you want to go through setting the date and time for the next meeting?
Yes, for the next focus group meeting.
Whichever.
Well, I do want to try to coordinate with Anka and see if she will be able to make that one, because it's my hope.
Okay, right.
It's my hope that she'll head off the mindfulness group, because she has a lot of experience in mindfulness. But I'm aiming for, let's say, Wednesday. Do you think like 7 a.m. would be way too early, right?
Honestly, I like that idea. And I like the idea. You had a meeting with India and it was at 8 p.m. I love
9
the idea, 9 p.m. I love the idea of connecting at different times. You know, why not? If people are up at 3 a.m., I say do it. You know, I typically would not be up at 3, but the idea is meeting people where they are just lends more participation to be had, you know, and I bet Caboodle and those folk have significant ideas to bring to the table, you know, so it's like, why not?
Yes, for sure. Um, yeah, they'd be able to attend earlier meetings as well. So I'll get to putting out feelers for what time would work. We'll aim for an early one though, as I figure 7 Central Standard Time, perhaps, North America would be able to make it before work, if some of them, if they chose, and it'd be about early afternoon for the UK, and we have a lot of members in the UK, so hopefully that will work out. I'll message Anka just as soon as we get off this Zoom. She asked me to forward her the invites via email, but I haven't yet, the invites for the meeting, so she could have it in her calendar. I've yet to be able to figure out how to do that. I've done everything I could, everything everybody's told me, everything I could find online, added it to my calendar and all that, invited the people through my calendar, and I still can't get it to send a RSVP or give the option to add it to people's calendars. So we'll see about that. Hopefully soon I'll get that worked out. The group,
Talk to me about that later.
okay, the group chat within our Brain Boost meeting, it still exists. I'm the only member currently. I sent you and Liraz an invite via email to the group chat. You have to accept it if you'd like to join. And that's just an existing chat that will remain indefinitely. I would like to have one of those on all of our meetings, on the reoccurring meeting, today's meeting, but it seems as if that is, it's only an option only something you can do when you set up the meeting. You can't go back once the meeting's set up and add in that chat in this recurring meeting. I've got the link posted in a lot of places, so I don't really want to change it, but moving forward, I'll always create the group chat. But again, Jazzy, I really thank you for coming today. I'm sorry it's low participation this Thursday, but I'll tell you, next week I'll make a bigger effort to get people riled up, rile the troops. That's what Dr. Liraz said about our next admin meeting. She said she'll rile the troops. So that's exciting.
That's cool.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't see the invite.
Say again?
I didn't see the invite.
Oh, to the chat on the Zoom? I sent it to Jamal at evolvingineducation.org.
It's not, is it LinkedIn?
No, it's your email. It's from Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Today, this morning?
Yeah, I sent that this morning, I believe.
7:37. Okay, yeah, I did get it. So I didn't know what this was. Would like to connect and add you to a chat. And actually, I think I did accept it and it just went there because I didn't know what it was. Okay, so it's just an ongoing 24/7 chat. So what do you use it for?
Well, that would just be for all the members. Let's say I went back and looked at the link that Ben shared, and let's say we got Ben on board. Like, once I have his email address, I'll send him an invite. And I wanted to tell Ben my thoughts on the link he shared. So I'd, post it there. Or let's say next week's meeting, I could post in there, hey guys, I wanted to invite you all to next week's meeting. Or, let's say we have another focus group meeting, go back and invite that same. It's just, it keeps sort of a roster of all your guests and a open line of communication between them, which I think is pretty cool. And it saves your chat that you have while you're in your meeting. Excuse me. I'm looking forward to see that AI outlined or editor thing that he did and his edits. I mean, just having all of these people coordinating on this, all of them putting that time and attention into it, really is something amazing and special, I feel.
Yeah. Gotta give thanks. It's a
Yeah.
great thing. And I had said earlier that you did it. You certainly are the brainchild behind all of this. So take a bow. And yeah, it's great that you say, oh, it's everybody, it's a team. But you just got to feel good. You're doing great stuff here.
Thank you, Jamal. Thank you. I'm a firm believer that we all are, but I really appreciate that. It means the world. And I'm ready. Let's go.
Right? Yeah, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't get much sleep last night. They said mom ended up in the emergency room, and then I had to take my sister to the airport at like 3:50 this morning so she could go fly in and pick her up and drive her home from Indianapolis. And I ain't had a whole lot of slumber. And we had that meeting last night with India past 11 p.m. So I didn't get a lot of Z's last night, but I had a little nap before the meeting with the girls. They're asleep.
Nice.
But I really appreciate your time, Jamal, and I look forward to our next meeting. I will, like I said, get on the horn with Anka and see if and when she's available on Wednesday. And if not, I mean, I have a lot of things I could talk about on mindfulness. I'm no expert and I would never claim to be, but I feel I could, hopefully invite some people that are in the focus group, of course, and we could all talk quite a bit about how to incorporate mindfulness into our initiatives, because like my goal, or I'm thinking it's best to do, like, let's say one focus group, the mindfulness, fitness, well-being focus group, 1 week, let's say it's mindfulness. Let's say the next time it comes around, we do fitness, next time well-being, or perhaps, work it all into one. I'm not sure, but I know we're going to have to speak out.
Yeah, I definitely, I don't like the idea of putting them all in one, because you really can't, you wouldn't be able to digest like 5 of them. I can imagine it. One is really great. I loved the brain discussion last night. It's the type of thing where you want to be able to digest it, ruminate on it, and figure out how you can include it. It's really, these things are rather powerful, and anything that you're presented with, how do you incorporate it becomes a challenge, right? You can learn a whole bunch of things, but if you're not incorporating what you learn, it's almost like, drinking from a fire hose, right? It's so difficult. There's just so much coming at you. So having 5 at once even makes it more complicated, right? Just one. What she presented last night, I took away really significant information that's like, okay, how do I alter my life to include that with the kids? And if I'm then presented the next day with something, or, the next week even, or not next week, that would be different. But like, how can you implement what you're learning, I guess, is the question. And having 2 things presented at once, I think, would make it double hard. If you had 5 things, oh my gosh, 5 things that you were really interested in, that would be like, how you go to workshops and they're like full day planning sessions where you're to each presentation is like an hour or 2 hours.
Yeah, be like a web.
Yeah, this is what we're kind of doing here. The breadth of the idea, in order for it to be presented. I mean, you don't want to just rush over it. You want to really understand what's being presented, right?
Yes, it wouldn't leave enough time, excuse me, I'm sorry. If we tried to talk about all those things in one meeting, it would just be chaos. It wouldn't leave enough time to touch on one subject. And that will
Mm,
fill the meeting nicely, like, let's say, a mindfulness presentation in the
mm,
following week. Um, I think
I
that'd
agree.
be perfect. And I'm excited. I'm really excited about the mindfulness one. That's one of my, that and neuroscience. I don't know anything about neuroscience. I mean, I'm learning a little bit, but I'm very interested in the neuroscience and mindfulness focus group. I mean, I'm enamored with all of them, of course, but most eager to participate in those. And I would like to stress it within our group to our members that anyone is welcome in any focus group. You don't have to have background in neuroscience or psychology to join that focus group, because it takes people from all walks of life. It takes team. And so and I know we have plenty of neuroscientists on there, and if it comes a time where it would benefit them or evolving education for them to work separately from the focus group, let's say that's working on paperwork, or I don't know, like the breakout rooms within the Zoom meeting, I think would be good. Like, let's say we could have our neuroscientists in one group and all of our other. But anyway, like I said, at one point I would like for everyone to switch up focus groups to where we don't have a focus group full of neuroscientists, where we have, one focus group full of, or 5 focus groups full of 5 different categories of people in each one.
Mm.
So anyway, I won't take up any more of your time today, Jamal, but again, I sure do appreciate you joining, sir.
Appreciate you having the meeting.
Yeah, I look forward to the next one. I'll get back to you directly on that next focus group meeting, because I have to set that up anyway. So
Okay.
and also I'll let you know about the website, and I will forward you that document, and I'll share with you the template I'm thinking about getting.
Okay.
Okie dokie, Jamal. Thanks again, man.
Sounds good. Take good care.
Likewise. Have a blessed afternoon, sir.
Thanks. You too. Bye,
Thank
Emery.
you. Bye-bye.